Live from Davao City, reaching the different parts of the Philippines and the rest of the world. And tonight we are blessed because we are joined by a very special guest, and we will be discussing integral issues that will affect the future of our nation. And leading us in our discussion tonight is our beloved pastor, Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. Good evening, Pastor.
Good evening, Nori, and good evening to all the children of the Father of the Kingdom Nation throughout all the world, and to all the televiewers who have been invited to watch this program tonight, because we have a very, very special guest, and he is here with us tonight, none other but the presidential candidate for the Lakas PCMD, Gilbert Teodoro, popularly known as GIBO. So welcome to this show, Gilbert.
Good evening, Pastor. Good evening. Thank you for having me once again. Good evening, Sister Nori. Good evening, Mr. Ledesma. To all the televiewers, pleasant good evening to each and everyone.
Good evening, Secretary. And joining us and helping us out in our discussion tonight is a veteran columnist and journalist here in Davao City, Mr. Jun Ledesma of Sunstar Davao. Good evening, Sir Jun.
Good evening.
Welcome. And before we continue, we would also like to acknowledge our visitors, the guests who came with Secretary Teodoro. First, I would like to introduce or welcome Honorable Anton Lagdameo, the representative of the 2nd District of Davao del Norte. Welcome. Davao del Norte. Yes. And we also have tonight Honorable Migs Dominguez, the Governor of Sarangani Province. Is also the National President of Lakas PCMD. Welcome, Governor. We also have the Presidential Advisor, Assistant for Mindanao, Ms. Madeline Orbebot Marfori. Welcome, ma'am. Good evening. We would also like to welcome the Secretary General of Lakas PCMD, Mr. Reginald Velasco. Good evening, Sir Reggie, and welcome. Also with us tonight is Engineer Charlie Gonzalez. Oh, maybe he's outside. We have the Chairman of the Board of DCWD, Mr. Ed Bangayan. Welcome, sir, and good evening. And also the Director of DCWD, also one of the Kingdom lawyers, Attorney Charlie Aldevera. Welcome, sir. And to all the studio audience who have joined us, welcome. Before we continue and before our discussion tonight, let's get to know more about our very special guest as we share with you this audio-video presentation. Let's watch this.
In March 2009, Gilbert GIBO Teodoro Jr. surprised the nation when he appeared as the standard presidential bearer of Lakas PCMD. Together with the administrative staff, cabinet members, and Her Excellency President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who served as the President Emeritus of the party, many showed support for the candidacy of GIBO Teodoro. Who is Gilbert Teodoro, and how was he able to get the charisma of the public? How was he able to build and gather confidence that one of these days his desire to serve this nation will come to reality? Let us find out more about Gilbert Teodoro Jr. Gilbert Teodoro, or popularly known as GIBO, holds a law degree from the University of the Philippines and a master's degree from the Harvard Law School in the U.S. Teodoro topped the bar exams in 1989, becoming one of the youngest bar top-notchers in the country. Armed with years of experience, he went to the Harvard Law School in Cambridge for his Master of Laws and completed it in 1997. He holds distinct memberships in the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, UP Alumni Association, UP Law Alumni Association, Harvard Alumni Association, and Harvard Law Alumni Association. Is also a licensed commercial pilot and a colonel in the Philippine Air Force Reserve. He is the lone son of former Social Security System Administrator Gilbert Teodoro Sr. and a former Batasang Pambansa member, Mercedes Cojuangco Teodoro. GIBO and Senator Benigno Noynoy Aquino III are cousins. The late former President Corazon Aquino and GIBO's mother, Mercedes Cojuangco Teodoro, are first cousins too. It was August of 2007 when he was designated by President Arroyo to be the Secretary of Defense. The tough responsibility as the head of DND resulted his popularity as the youngest Secretary of Defense who carried over such duties in the Philippine history. In 2 years, he acted as the head of DND and served as the chairman of the National Disaster Coordinating Council. With his added responsibility, GIBO prioritized peacekeeping, and he was able to maintain safety and security of the country. GIBO was determined, and he worked hard in building and developing both departments to maximize the services they can offer to the Filipinos. He did not stop fighting against wrong practices that attempts to destroy the dignity of our justice system. He never got tired of looking for possible solutions. Ondoy and Peping left cruel scars in 2009. The National Capital Region, North Luzon and its neighboring towns were attacked by strong winds and heavy rains. These disasters and natural calamities challenged Secretary Gibo's ability to lead the National Disaster Coordinating Council. Being at the front line, he performed search and rescue operations on those affected areas. He then prioritized massive relief operations and evacuation of the families trapped in the midst of the tragedy. These are only few among the achievements of GIBO, and with the quality time he spent with Department of National Defense and NDCC, GIBO is now taking a much higher step and aimed for the highest position for him to continuously serve the Filipinos.
Yung experience po natin bilang congressman ng 9 na taon, youth leader ng ilang taon, practicing lawyer at business executive. Lahat po nitong mga bagay-bagay na ito ay nakakatulong sa pagmolde ng aking karakter at kakayahan. Pero napakahalaga po ng experience ko as Secretary of National Defense dahil nabigyan ho ako ng priceless na pagkakataon na na-manage ang isa sa pinakasensitibo ng mga departamento sa gobyerno na kung sa ilalim na kung saan napakadaming tao at napakadaming resources. At ang pinagmamalaki ko lang, walang bahid ng korupsyon sa administrasyon ko dito sa departamento na to.
That's the background of our very special guest, and we'll get to know him more because he's here with us live on Give Us This Day. Secretary Teodoro, good evening once again. With the 2010 election fast approaching, we know that the nation is teeming with leaders who are positive and are capable, and they want to make the country great once again. Now, how do you intend to provide a new brand of leadership to make the Philippines take off or isulong?
Well, Nori, of course, everybody wants to reform Philippine society. However, reform must be based on a platform of stability. I mean, things must run. For example, the poorest of the poor must continue to be cared for. Long-term infrastructure programs must continue. The paradigms of peace and order cannot drastically change, and because it might ignite some untoward incidents in the country. You have to have your programs of health care continuing. So it's balanced reform. And what it really needs, though, is genuine political harmony or an attempt to achieve the same. I mean, I don't mean to say that we should eradicate the existence of an opposition. A strong and robust opposition is really necessary. However, there are some things in the governance agenda that should be shielded from partisan politics. For example, your long-term economic programs. The reason why perhaps the Philippines remains uncompetitive is the lack of sustainability of certain programs. Long-term investors are scared that every 6 years things might change, or in local politics, every 3 years things might change. You have to put these items aside. Call probably almost all the political leaders of the country and say, we can fight in politics, we can argue, but these things have to continue. Amelioration of our farmers, sustainable agrarian reform to solve our food security program, peace and order, international relations, which is one of the most important things that the Philippines needs for its economic security and national security. We must speak with one voice as a country, and oftentimes we do not. That's why sometimes our credibility vis-a-vis the international community suffers. Our ability to stand pat to what we agreed to internationally. Sometimes we just really have to cave in at times because of domestic politics. We cannot do that. So that's what I'm trying to offer. Some balanced reform. And the agenda or the agenda of vendetta, hate, revenge should be out of the picture. Country probably has had enough of that. And I think that if that is a forefront of an agenda, or any agenda, we will lag behind once again for the next 6 years.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, talking of agenda, Mr. President, our prime concern is peace and order.
Yes, sir.
Conditioning Mindanao. Our prime concern Mindanao is peace and order. How would you address this once you are up there in Malacanang?
I approach the paradigm of peace and order very realistically. We have to have a strong national government deterrent to breaches of the peace. Be